Hi guys, follow me on Instagram to never ever miss any of my crazy updates. Hi guys and welcome to another vlog. I'm driving this. This is the original Toyota Fortuner which was launched in India. This is a 2009 model which comes courtesy of Mars to me, and this actually gets full-time all-wheel drive. Yeah, full-time four-wheel drive, which is absolutely amazing. That's the reason why it's a gas guzzler. Straight away, let's open the engine bay and okay, oh my god, it's so heavy that freak man, this is extremely heavy. You can see the opening is there for the intercooler which is placed right on top. Says D4D. The engine is very loud. You know what, that is the air filter which is again a box. Same was the case with the Innova of this vintage, and there is so much space on the inside. Now this is a 3-liter diesel engine and it shuts with a proper bang. This is very much functional, no fake stuff there, huh? And then obviously it's got this sort of a crash guard which is made of plastic. Looks very nice, this car. It's still so amazing in terms of visual appeal. The lights are obviously all halogens. Projector setup there. This is the fog light, of course. And below here you can see, yeah, engine guard and all that. Now this car commands a fantastic resale value. I kid you not, this car was actually bought for around rupees 9 lakhs and was sold for around rupees 20 lakhs. So even after like 12-15 years, the resale is mind-blowing. Okay, it's based on the Hilux and it doesn't pretend to be a sporty looking Lexus SUV, which the new Fortuner obviously does. Now you see there's so much sidewall, still the ride quality isn't great. 265, 65, 17s, and this car actually had issues with braking, this generation of the Fortuner. When they launched the Fortuner, it had a lot of braking issues. You can see so much brake dust is here right now. You get a side footstep, says 3-liter D4D right there. Chrome here, this is a rain visor which has been added, of course. Stickering as well, for the sporty appeal. In fact, it says Fortuner here, Toyota there, so it keeps reminding you what car it is, otherwise you will forget, of course. Coming to the rear of the vehicle, again, very nice design. I kind of like it. And then you get a spoiler with a high mounted stop lamp. You also get a rear wiper washer. Lights again, complete halogens. Toyota Fortuner full-time four-wheel drive. That is a reflector. Rear parking sensors came standard, but they were painted in blue. Now they've been painted in black. A reverse camera has been added aftermarket. The exhaust is real and it keeps vibrating. So this car is having a lot of vibrations. That is a spare wheel which is actually full size and is also an alloy. But you know, taking it out is a pain. Well, in any car which has the spare wheel placed below. Anyways, let's open the boot. And here you can see boot carrying capacity isn't great with all the rows up. So I put one seat up. So you can see you can recline both the seats, and then you've got a lot of storage space to actually carry. But the problem is now there is no leg room. So this is best for children. There's some storage space there, handle to hold on to, seat belts and all. AC vents on the top as well. Now this is very similar to the Innova of that vintage, of course. Let's just shut this. It's really very heavy to shut or open anything in this car. It's that heavy, and you've got roof rails which are very much functional. Now the thing is, you've got big door pockets. You've got this sort of wood treatment, and yeah, this is tinted. This needs to be tinted because it's super hot right now. There's good amount of space. Now if you want to get to the rear, well, you have to actually recline it like this, pull this one, and then you can like push this upwards. Person sitting behind can also pull this lever to do the same, and there is a toolkit right there. Rather, it is to remove the tire. Now we're going to put this back up. Now this thing actually reclines further, so here I can push it and recline it. So the recline angle is considerable, and then I can actually move the seat behind, which will not move because right now, okay, first we need to move the recline angle a bit. Everything seems to be jammed, so even Toyota cars do not stand the test of time when it comes to, oh god, yeah, when it comes to things getting jammed, it needs WD-40. Yeah, you can push the seat behind, and then you can just climb in by stepping in. There's good amount of leg room and knee room. Under thigh support is not the best. Headroom is just about adequate. AC vents placed here, again very similar to the Innova. Light placement right there, handle to hold on to, hook. Seat belts get the height adjust function too. Yeah, there it is. And the dashboard actually, in spite of the age, hasn't aged at all. I mean, the quality is still there. That's the reason why a Toyota is a Toyota. And there's a hump, but 3 people can sit here comfortably. Middle passenger does not get a head, but you get a center armrest. Yeah, I don't know why that's so chilled. This is 60-40 split. You can carry a house inside this car, and magazine holders are placed here. Now this was more about being rugged than being about oh, door auto shuts. Yeah, then being about luxury, comfort and any of that sort, because the ride is also atrocious. However, things are quite good in terms of quality. So this is how you actually adjust something or the other. Oh, the height is adjusted like this, which is very weird. It says Fortuner here, door pockets are big enough. Only the driver window is one touch up down, power window controls, lot of buttons here, mirror adjustment, security. This is actually to increase or decrease the illumination of the cluster, which has this chrome binacle as well, and then obviously to open the fuel lid, just to open the hood. You actually hold this and climb inside. Seats are actually decently comfortable. That is the key of the vehicle, so there's no keyless entry, of course. And there is a dead pedal, which is a good thing. Steering wheel is adjustable only for height. Yeah, that's about it. You can't see the thing here. You know why? Because it's at minimum the illumination. So here I'm actually going to increase it. Yeah, and then hopefully you can see something or the other. It was showing me something. I don't know why. It's not showing me anything anymore. So that's gone for a bit of a toss. Here is an aftermarket unit. So this is very much aftermarket. This is not something which the car came with. So that's kind of disappointing. Actually, you know what? Illumination is increasing, but it's still not bright enough. Here you obviously get a speedometer, tachometer, and fuel meter, and then odometer with trip meter and all that. Air conditioning is actually quite good here. So I'm just going to turn it on and increase the temperature. So it's not showing me data here. I don't know why. Come on, turn on. Yeah, there it is saying cold. What does cold mean? Hazard light. And there's this panel which has information and clock, and it tells you what's the fuel efficiency, 8 kilometers per liter is what it's saying. You can actually operate it from here. These are the controls for the audio system, but since this has been changed, it doesn't work anymore. There's this slot here to keep stuff. Glove box is decent sized, and then next to the AC vents, there are these cup holders too. This actually opens, and there's some storage space there. The storage space here, there, handbrake is big, gear lever is also big, and this is actually for the 4-wheel drive selector. So this is full-time 4-wheel drive. So what does HL mean? HL means that it will lock power to the front and rear wheels in 50-50 split, and LL means obviously 4 low, and this is 4 high, and that is the neutral. Here you get parking sensors button. This is to turn on the rear AC, and there's a 12-volt charging socket. There's a cigarette lighter. There's an ashtray as well. There's some storage space here, which is kind of weird, to be honest. Let's do one thing. Let's actually use the wipers right away. Okay, they work very nicely for a car of this vintage. Here you get a sunglass holder, and this is having a mirror but sort of velvet finish, and here you do not get anything. It just tells you how to drive the car. Thank you so much for telling me, otherwise I would not know. This is actually for the microphone. Let me actually turn off the car. Okay, we turn off the hazard lights, and now I'm going to turn on the car. Before that, let me show you the key. This is to unlock the car, this is to lock the car, and this is to sound the siren or the alarm, of course. Listen to this. Okay, here we turn it on. There the gear lever vibrates. It tells me T-belt. So telltale lights almost everywhere. So as I see it, quality is actually good enough because the dashboard still feels like new. It doesn't seem to have aged. But how is it to drive? Let's start driving right away. Alright, we're all set to go. Let me turn on the car. Okay, no clutch lock here. Yeah, it makes that T-belt sound. It vibrates the gear lever like mad. Handbrake is down, and there's no traction control to deal with. Air conditioning off. Into first gear. Okay, listen to this when I leave the clutch. Okay, listen to this. You can make a video on that. The sound from the clutch is crazy. Okay, revving the motor, and off we go. Oh, ho, 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 ho. 4,500 RPM red line. It really crashes through the worst of bumps. So that, oh my god, the engine is nice and punchy and smooth, and I can already see the airbag warning light coming up. And there's this continuous movement even on such a smooth road, which is very shocking to me. So obviously this is a body on frame platform car, which is the case with the Fortuner. So in around 2000s, Toyota decided, let's do one thing, let's make an emerging market specific SUV. And they took the Hilux and they made an SUV version with the Hilux platform known as the IMV platform, and the Fortuner was born, and so was the Innova. So now in 2004 the car was launched. In 2009, why is the air conditioning not off? Yeah, now it is. So in 2009 they decided, okay, let us do one thing, let's bring it to India, and that's when the first facelift of this car was already launched globally in 2008. So 2009 they got this to India only with one engine, which was the 3-liter unit, which is powering this car, with a manual gearbox, and it's a 5-speed manual, along with full-time 4-wheel drive as well. And later they also got automatics and all, and they gave it another facelift in 2012, whose vlog I've already done. I'll just put it in the end of the video in the top right corner. You can see that as well. Now the thing is that performance is nice, and this car really pulls strongly because this 3-liter engine has good amount of torque. So 343 Newton meters of torque, and when the auto came, I think it has 360 Newton meters of torque. So the automatic always has more torque, and power is 161 horsepower. Although this is a heavy car and goes from 0 to 100 kilometers per hour in around 13 seconds, yet it is punchy enough, and then performance is really nice. The engine is quite loud. Steering doesn't seem that heavy at lower speeds, but it's very inconsistent in the center position, so that's a bit of a bummer. You honk, you pray, and you go. yeah, 18 second, and then 100 you will cross in third gear itself. The problem with this car was brakes, very poor brakes. They actually increased the disc size later, but when Toyota launched this car, they were expecting to sell around 200-400 units, so production was capped at 500 units. They ended up selling around 1000 units per month, which was double than what they expected. In fact, the Fortuner sold more than the whole segment combined. Such was the level of sales of the Fortuner. So Toyota wanted to thank everyone, so they put a ad in the newspaper. There is nothing stopping the Fortuner, and literally there was nothing stopping the Fortuner because the brake issues were everywhere on the internet, and Toyota put that ad, which was really wrong timing. The brakes are very, very poor. Ride is also very bad because the suspension is on the stiffer side. The good thing is now the stiff suspension actually bodes well when you're driving it at higher speeds, because then the ride becomes quite good. And then horn is what is very important here. So here, make a quick overtake, no problem. The thing is, this car is so rugged now, you don't even care once before taking it over bad roads. I know it moves everybody inside, but then it doesn't feel like anything is getting damaged underneath. Over a speed breaker, you have to slow down. It just crashes through everywhere. Yeah, every bump it crashes through, and the noise from the seats at the rear also are very much apparent. So that's a bit of a bummer. Now, like I was telling you, steering has this weird this thing in the center position, no feel or feedback, and then high speed stability is fine because obviously suspension is on the stiffer side, so it does drive well at high speeds. It doesn't have that bouncy feel as such. And another speed breaker, my goodness, one of the worst places to ever drive on, is where I am right now. I don't know why the road is so narrow and full of bumps and whatnot. It has this nice surge in the mid-range, which is quite good. The thing is that later Toyota decided that, you know, with the second facelift, the first facelift for India, the second globally, that, you know, let's actually bring an automatic. And the automatic was hopeless, but it got the job done. It was actually faster with the automatic than with the manual, because the manual had 4-wheel drive and the automatic came with 2-wheel drive, so they shed 90 kgs there only. The steering effort also became less because obviously none of that bits which are there in a 4-wheel drive vehicle were here. And then yeah, the automatic managed to be faster somehow, even though it was kind of hopeless. It was like 1 second faster from 0 to 100 kilometers per hour, taking around 12 seconds. The clutch is gone completely. I think it's very heavy, it's very springy in action, and then obviously it also makes this very weird sound. And then they also got a smaller engine, a 2.5 liter engine, in the quest to save the environment by giving better fuel efficiency. In fact, the fuel efficiency of this car is really very poor. Okay, this one oh my goodness, this one returns around 6 in the city and 8 on the highway, so it drinks. So that is the negative of having full-time 4-wheel drive system. Yeah, it's nice to talk about, it's nice bragging right, but it drinks fuel. Traction levels are good because obviously full-time 4-wheel drive, and obviously it is a car which is capable of the road because Hilux underpinnings, right? So nothing can go wrong on that front, but not a very enjoyable car to sit in or drive either, although it has a road presence, so you'll be like, yeah, I enjoy that. Tires seem to be gone a bit, but on such roads now, this car absolutely doesn't give a fluff on it. It just goes. Yeah, and people look in complete confusion. What is happening? How does it manage it so well? I just wish the brakes were better. The brakes are like really very, very, very poor indeed, and that's the reason we're going to come to a halt here into first gear and revving the motor, and off we go. Oh my god, the pull is nice, but trust me on this car, although is almost, let me count, 13 years old, it doesn't feel 13 years old, it feels younger. So that's the Toyota quality for you. Although the suspension is gone for a toss, the springs are gone, it needs a replacement of the suspension, then it should do fine. That's the reason the ride feels quite bad as such. But then on such roads, what do you expect? It's a Fortuner which you can drive with your eyes closed, knowing very well that it doesn't give a flying fluff. Only thing, it moves around a bit, but rattles are very much contained. This vintage of a Maruti car, well, it will rattle like mad. This one thankfully does not do that. Here, oh, you can hear the sound from the brakes. Revving the motor and off we go. No wheel spin, nothing at all. No traction control either because of pure mechanical grip, thanks to the 4-wheel drive system here. And yeah, that movement starts and then it keeps bouncing about. The thing is that the Fortuner has always been aimed to be more sporty somehow, so the suspension has always been on the stiffer side. So in 2016 they bought the second generation Fortuner, which was a huge leap. The price of this car was around rupees 20 lakhs, and then towards the end of the life cycle they had increased the price to almost 27 lakhs, I remember. And I'd also driven the one with a lot of updates and whatnot. The car has massively awesome resale value. Mars actually paid rupees 9 lakhs for this car, a 13-year-old car, or rather 12-year-old car when he bought it, for just like hardly any depreciation. That's insane. So that's the level of resale value which you get with the Toyota Fortuner, unbelievable, right? So let's just come to a halt here. So into first gear, revving the motor, and off we go. Oh, some wheel spin finally. So the thing is that the price of this car has tripled in the past few years since the time of its launch. Well, honestly, it's also because of their various stupid variants like Legender and GR Sport. The price has gone like close to 61 lakhs, which is absolutely crazy. You know, the fun of driving a manual is obviously something else. They bought a petrol engine in the new Fortuners, which obviously comes with a 2.8 litre diesel engine and downsized, more refined, more performance, more power modes, whatnot. Way better, but it loses the rough and rugged character of the Fortuner, which this particular car has. And they had a 5-speed automatic. Yeah, that is kind of weird, which did not feel that great. There were no paddle shifters either. In front of the Endeavour, the Fortuner just felt lackluster, honestly. And when they came up with the new Endeavour, well, the Fortuner just could not compete in terms of comfort levels, although it's fun to drive. And then obviously Toyota offered a 3 years 1 lakh kilometer warranty as well. So in that regard, if you want reliability, the Fortuner is unbeatable, and this car is living proof of that, because in spite of the age, in spite of the kind of abuse it has been gone through, it says to 1.26 lakhs on the odometer, which I'm sure is more like 12 lakh 60,000 kilometers with the odometer tuned down before being sold in the pre-owned market. But still, with a Toyota, you know, it will keep going on and on and on and on, and that's the reason why Toyota is able to command that premium for the Fortuner, and people are still ready to buy it, also because the Endeavour is gone now, so they have no option as such. Yeah, I cannot take a U-turn here because the turning radius is also absolutely crazy. Weird noises from the clutch. Like the clutch is making some really very weird sound. I don't know why. Yeah, brakes do this chi. Although there is ABS, the brakes are not effective at all. Absolutely not effective. So guys, although this is very cumbersome to drive in the city, heavy steering, lot of body roll and whatnot, the Fortuner, the original one, the first generation model, will still always be in our hearts, purely because it has the raw and rugged character and it feels more SUV than the latest model. If you like this vlog, make sure to give the thumbs up, that's the like button. And then I encounter such a patch of road and I decide it's better I just stop, otherwise it's like a merry-go-round. It's like all over the place, because the ride, I don't know how Toyota does not even care about giving good ride on its SUVs, because at the end of the day, ride quality matters the most. And if you own a Fortuner, or if you've sat in a Fortuner, or if you're a fan of the Fortuner, please let me know in the comment section below that how do you like the Fortuner so much, knowing very well that the ride is very bad, it's very uncomfortable. So how do you deal with that? Because oh my god, I'm just moving all over the place. Bye bye.